talking about the science behind composting and how it works by the one and only GCCC. What is composting? Composting is a natural process where organic materials like food scraps and yard waste are broken down by microorganisms into nutrient-rich soil. It's nature's way of recycling, and the result compost is often called black gold for its incredible value in growing plants. As you can see right here in this photograph, it shows all the decomposing materials that create this valuable material that can help fertilize plants. The science behind composting. The browns and greens are very important. Just gonna put that on a side note. Microorganisms like bacteria and fungi kickstart the process by breaking down organic matter. These microbes need three things to thrive: carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. Carbon is the browns, and nitrogen are the greens. And oxygen is what helps give it aeration so it doesn't smell and flies don't come and buzz around it. Heat is produced as microbes work, speeding up decomposition. The result is rich, dark compost full of essential nutrients. And if you've ever learned about soil before in elementary, which hopefully you did, humus is basically the rich, dark compost. So, humus. Stages of composting. So, as you can see right here on a more descriptive diagram, there's the mesophilic stage, the thermophilic stage, and the cooling and maturation stage, which is basically all the stages that help decompose compost. And you can look at the temperatures right there. So the first stage, in easier terms, is the heating stage. Microbes break down easy to digest materials, producing heat. The active stage is harder materials like twigs are broken down into smaller pieces. And the maturing stage is the compost cools, stabilizes, and becomes ready to use in soil. And if you want the more scientific terms, they are right there in that diagram. Early composting practices. The idea of composting dates back thousands of years to early agricultural societies. Ancient Egyptians and Chinese farmers used organic waste to enrich their soils. The Bible even references composting, highlighting its role in sustainable farming. And right here in this picture, you can see this is the Aztecs, which originated from early Mexico, around like, they're kind of Native Americans in a way. They are a group, they are a form. But as you can see, they're digging and taking up the crops, and you see all those beautiful plants that comes from using food scraps. The scientists behind modern composting. Sir Albert Howard, a British botanist in the early 1900s, is known as the father of modern composting. He promoted the indoor method, which formalized the layering of greens and browns to speed up the decomposition process. Howard's work laid the foundation for sustainable agriculture today. So this man right here, early 1900s, Sir Albert Howard, was the one that laid the foundation for how we do composting today and how effective it can be. Why composting is important. Number one, it reduces landfill waste, which is our main goal. Even the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, says that if you compost, it can combat climate change and landfills. Organic waste makes nearly 40% of trash in landfills, which is not a good sign. And if we can recycle those food scraps, it'd be very nice to do that, and it would probably not make landfills smell so nasty. Cuts greenhouse gas emissions. Decomposing food in landfills creates methane, a potent greenhouse gas that will stay in the atmosphere and continue crumbling the ozone layer unless we do something to reduce methane, which is, again, just recycle your food scraps. Improve soil health. Compost enriches soil, helping plants grow stronger and healthier, which is a really big deal because soil erosion in the US is at an all-time high because of the droughts and the floods, and it's just a lot for the crops to handle. So in turn, if we compost, it can improve the soil and make them more structured. That way they can handle not only the heat and not only the water, but they can also handle the uprising climate change. It supports biodiversity. Healthy plant soil supports more microorganisms, insects, and plant life. And even though, yes, it supports mosquitoes, it also supports very important aspects that our environment needs for a balance, and every single animal is here to keep a balance. So even though insects can be annoying and those ugly nasty weeds in your garden can be annoying, they're all there for a reason, to keep our planet healthy. How composting helps us today. Composting is used in cities to reduce waste and create community gardens. On farms, compost reduces the need for chemical fertilizers and promotes sustainable practices. And just a little side note for the chemical fertilizers, an alternative is worm tea. And if you don't know what worm tea is, then I suggest that you search it up, because that is going to be probably one of the products that we're going to be making. And it is probably like 100 times better than the chemical fertilizers, because not only is it all natural and it still helps your plants in the same exact way, it keeps the rest of your yard from dying. In homes, composting turns kitchen scraps into a valuable resource for backyard gardens. Composting in different environments. Urban settings use small, odor-free compost bins or community programs. Rural areas, large compost piles, or windrows can handle farm and yard waste. So one I have in the city and one I have in a rural area. You can see that in the rural city, even though they are small and compact, it does still count to making our world a healthier and better place. And in the rural area, you can make large compost piles because there's so much space, so you may as well make use of it. Plus, it keeps the agriculture very pretty, no matter what. Schools. Teach children sustainability by creating school garden compost programs. And this is a very big thing for me, because as somebody who still does go to school, I am very annoyed and mad that we're not teaching kids more about the environment. Like, if we want our generations to be better, then maybe stop letting them use phones, and how about start teaching them something about the earth and how it really helps us, and that, maybe phones aren't the only thing that can entertain you. Maybe composting can. I don't know, just a suggestion. Anyways, apartments. Vermicomposting using worms, which is a type of microbe that is very popular in composting, is a compact and efficient option. And I know suburbs aren't there, but suburbs, you can basically do the exact same thing, considering that you have a mixture of space and a mixture of compactability. I'd say that you could honestly do either one, depending on how much space you have, how your neighbors feel about it, all of that stuff. The role of microorganisms and compost bacteria is right here, and again, it has these stages of compost, a little more in depth on the specific microbes that are used. Bacteria and fungi are the unsung heroes of composting. They really are, though. They break down organic matter into simple compounds, releasing nutrients into the soil. The diversity of microbes in compost mirrors the diversity of life it supports. Microbes are very important. Spreading the word. Share the benefits of composting with your community, aka the Green Cycle Compost community, us. Get friends, family, and neighbors involved in composting to reduce waste and grow together. The more people compost, the greater impact on our planet. And again, you don't have to do the biggest project in the world to top things. It takes small steps to lead to a big change. And that's something that you will have to learn over your lifetime. And trust me, it took me a very long time to learn that. But anything counts. Thank you, plus a call to action. Thank you for learning about the science and history of composting. And let's work together to make sustainability, access, and exciting. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and especially share this video to spread the word about composting. Visit the Green Cycle Compost community for more eco-friendly tips and ideas. My Instagram is @DogePaints. My X/Twitter is nom8722188255315. My Gmail is greencyclecompostscommunity@gmail.com, and you can message me. And my YouTube is the Green Cycle Compost Community for more composting tips, and leave me suggestions in the comments down below. Anyways, I hope y'all really did enjoy this video, and have a nice day, and let's grow.